heard of Parivartana yoga when the planet A is in the sign B and lord of that sign B is in the sign of planet A. This denotes some transformation or exchange. Now listen to this. The episcopal palace was far too big, badly maintained and very expensive. The town hall was too cramped in its building. The hotel, the Roku Plane, after numerous consultation, in particular of this diocesan commission of the economic affairs, the decision is taken by John Hermel to proceed to an exchange with the town hall. So the August 3086, the hotel, the Rock Plane, became the seat of bishopric, and the episcopal palace became the seat of the town hall. So basically that means that this person whose chart we will be analyzing today, which is the Jan Hermel, basically the town hill was exchanged with the church. There was a church, there was the town hill, and they exchanged these places. And the very interesting thing is that even the word exchange was there in the biography in Wikipedia. So isn't that the perfect example of the Parivartana? But only if it involves the house of the property, which would be the fourth house, and also the planet of spirituality, which is the sun, and additionally this has to be somehow connected to his career life, which is the 10th from the moon. So we will analyze this chart in this video. We will also learn how to examine spirituality in the chart, also about if the person can be married, so what yogas are there for single life or celibate life or no married life, and also the standard thing, career life points in the chart. So let's roll the intro and go to this video. So what is the Parivartana? First, let's take this out of the way. Many years back, we have learned from Pandit Sanjay Rath that there are 4 types of yoga, or the union or relationship between the planets. The 3 most important are yuti, which is the conjunction or being in one sign or house, like 2 planets or more planets. Then we have the aspect, which is drishti, so the planets are forming the aspects and therefore also the relationship, but they are in different houses or different signs. And also we have this Parivartana, which is the exchange. We also learned that the Parivartana is the strongest type of relationship between the planets. It has like 100% yoga. Aspect is 50 and conjunction being in one sign or house is 75%. So for example, if the sun is in the sign of Mercury and Mercury is in the sign of the sun, they are like exchanging the places. And this denotes the change or transformation from one state to the other, represented by the planet in question. And before we go to the example, I want to give you some introduction when it comes to grouping of Parivartana, because there are many types of them. And the division comes from Mantreshvara, which is the author of the astrological text Faldipika. There is the chapter of yogas, which is the 6th chapter, and then we have the shloka 32, when he's dividing the yogas into a Maha, Dainya and Kala. Not much is known about the text and author. This is what we can get from the introduction to this book. So Mantreshvara was believed to live in 13th century. He was belonging to the family of Brahmins called Nambodari, and that was in the place of Madras, which is the Chennai, Tamil Nadu. He was the devotee of Sukuntlambki Devi, and to get the knowledge he was traveling to Badrika Asrama, to Himalayas and also to Mithila Pradesh. And from this book we know that he makes these references to the Parashara and Varahamihita, so he have learned many shastras, he meditated for a long time, and then he get this title of Mantreshwara, which means the Lord of the Mantras. Ishvara is the Lord, controller, and so on. So when the Parivartana is including the Dushtana, which is 6th, 8th and 12th, this is called Dainya. This is negative Parivartana. If it involves the 3rd house, it is called Kala. So houses are divided into various groups. From the main Shastra, Brihat Parashara Hora Shastra, we get to know that the 6th, 8th and 12th houses are called Dushtana and are negative. Du means negative, like for example we have Dukha, which can mean the bad sky. Sukha is the reverse to that, which denotes the happiness. So any planet which is in Dushtana, it says to suffering in that area. For example, if you have 4th in Dushtana, you may be suffering in matters of property. If it's 7, relationship. If 10th, wealth, projects, career life. Because the karaka, the significator of the Dushtana is Saturn or Mars. So these are the malefic or inauspicious planets. So I assume that the Parivartana with 3rd house can show some challenge or conflict. 3rd house is also loaded by Gemini. So basically it shows the courage, enterprise, agreements. The Gemini also brings the sexual content. Additionally, it shows our younger brother, also the Upadesha, which is the instruction given by teacher. It also shows years, short travels and agreements. So very important thing when you have that Parivartana or this exchange between the Dushtana and the good house. First, we want to strengthen the house which is in the good house, like in Kendra and Kona, by gem, which is the Ratna, so any Parihara, or also by a mantra. So by remedial measure when it comes to recitation of the sounds which are related to that devata or person representing that energy which is afflicted. So we want to strengthen that planet in the good house. And also based on that, we say that the dasha or period of planet which is in the good house will be auspicious, and reverse to the dasha or period of planet will be in that bad house. Means that the things which are represented by these planets are turning to negative. And if the dasha is in good house, now we are repairing, now the good times comes related to that dynamics, the transformation. And this Parivartana is based on the lordship, so we know that the signs are lorded by planet. It is very easy to remember. We are starting from Cancer, it's lorded by moon, Leo is lorded by sun, and then we are taking the pairs of signs forward and backward. So Gemini and Virgo will be Mercury, Taurus, Libra will be Venus, Aries and Scorpio is loaded by Mars, Sagittarius and Pisces will be loaded by Jupiter, and Capricorn, Aquarius are loaded by Saturn. Additionally, Rahu, which is the north node of the moon, is loading Virgo and Aquarius, and Ketu, which is the southern node of the moon, is loading the Scorpio and Pisces. So we have found the perfect example of this Parivartana, and also maybe in your life you will see that some part of your life, like relationship or property or career life, there are going to one state, then it's going back, or you are expecting something and then you get something else. So the sudden changes or this going forward and backward, maybe you have this Parivartana in your chart, so now you know how to analyze this, and we will see on this example about the details of this dynamics. So first, when you go to astrodata.com, we have only one sentence or two sentences when it comes to biography. Then we go to English Wikipedia, we also have the same sentence, only two, but this person was born in French. So if we go to French language Wikipedia and then we translated this to English, we are getting a bit more information about it. And from there I got this information that this person was responsible for this exchange between this town hall and this church or this episcopal palace. They were exchanging their roles or places, right? So the church is going to the town hall is going to the church. So the beautiful Parivartana in the real life example. This happened in the Jupiter-Saturn dasha, and the Saturn is with the fourth lord in the Navamsha, and interestingly with the Mercury, and this Mercury in the Navamsha is also taking place with that Parivartana, and that Parivartana is between 10th lord of career Jupiter and also 4th lord of property Mercury. So not only in Rashi but also in the Navamsha we have this Jupiter Mercury Parivartana involving the 4th house of properties. I have to tell you that before analyzing this Navamsha I have rectified it to Gemini. It was Taurus, so I moved it forward 3 minutes. So in Vedic astrology we have 16 charts. The main one is called Rashi, and this divisional chart, and they represent the specific area of life. It's getting the area under the zoom, so we get more details, and it's very handy when it comes to timing. So the good thing is that we can get more details. The challenging aspect of this divisional chart is that they are changing very quickly, like 3 minutes, 5 minutes, the Navamsha or the Shamsa can change. So you need very accurate time, or we have to do reverse engineering based on the past events of your life. We are trying to make sense of this chart, and we are changing the ascendant to the forward or backward sign. So we know that this is the Navamsha of Gemini based on the time of demise. It was in the Taurus Dasha, and it was Ketu Antar Dasha, and Ketu is with the 12th Lord Venus. So 12th house is about the demise. We also see that in the 10th house of career there will be a sun in the sign of Pisces. So sun in Pisces is very much spiritual connotation. This is like a priest, very much so. And also he became the priest exactly in the sun dasha. So this was like starting his career life. So definitely Gemini would fit all these factors here. Then he became the bishop in Mars Venus. Venus is again with Ketu, the 10th lord, if we take Gemini. And then he became another bishop in another place of France in Rahu. And Rahu is dispositor of 10th lord Ketu. So each time when he experienced this big transformation in his professional life, we have this connotation or relation to the 10th house, and the demise, we have connection to the 12th house. These planets were active at that time. And based on that, this is the example how we do the reverse engineering. So this is not like someone can say that we are just taking these Vargas how we want. No, if we change to one place, then also the other part of this puzzle have to fit nicely. It has to click like a mechanism. Every part of the chart have to click nicely. And if the past is working, then we are sure that we can, based on that, also predict the future, because we know which planets will get active in the future. And based on the position in these Varga charts, we may give the information to client what he or she can expect in the future based on the position of the planets and based on the knowledge when these planets, in which years, in which months, they will be active in person's life. So Navamsha is the most important division. It comes from the dividing the house or sign to 9 parts. The 9 also has the symbolism which is showing our past. So when Navamsha is analyzed together with Rashi, it shows our inner nature, our connection to absolute, and also the and from Jataka Parijata we get information that Rasi, Navamsha and Shastyamsa are the most important charts to analyze. In our tradition, we are also adding the Jagannath Reckon as having the utmost importance. So in this chart you can see how 4th Lord and 3rd Lord, they have this exchange or Parivartana. Normally 4th Lord in the 3rd house may indicate loss of property or losses on account of property. But in this case 3rd Lord is going back to 4th, which is showing this exchange. Normally we should say that this is still Kala Parivartana, so it will include some kind of conflict or a challenge which is there. We don't have information what was exactly there going on, but this is also in that negative aspect of Parivartana. And that has happened in Jupiter Saturn. Saturn is with Mercury in the Navamsha, so activating this Mercury, this 4th Lord in the 3rd house, which shows that that was exactly the time when that Parivartana had to show the change. And for me, it's a beautiful example. 4th house in an exchange, 4th house denotes the property, and in the biography we are reading that this person was responsible. And this was so important that it is there in this short biography, like this, even this French biography, it has like 10 sentences, and there's this mentioning about this change of this town hall with the, let's call it, church. So it has to be some, for him, important project, or he played there some very important role to change of these two places. So this is very handy example, and I hope you also appreciate this in the same way like me. So we have few things more to share about spirituality, the celibacy and the career life. But if you have found any value in this video, please make sure to hit the like button and subscribe with the bell notification on. If you are looking to improve your Vedic astrology tools and techniques, so we are doing that by publishing this video once or even twice a week. So the last 3 things which I want to mention here, first is about the spirituality. So to make the chart spiritual, we need to have sattva very strong and rejection of the rajas. So normally Mercury and Venus, which represents the rajas, are in 3rd, 6th or 12th from the Aruda Lagna, and also we can see yogas like dispositor of the Lagnesha or Atma Karaka being in the Dushtana. The other thing which is very important, which can pull the whole chart into this renunciation mode or this spiritual minimalist, it can manifest in many ways. The person may even not know that this is, so I'm in that spiritual category, but he will be somehow very much drawn to very minimalistic life. All things represented by Ketu will be there. So this is when the Graha Malika Yoga is starting from Dushtana. So the Graha Malika Yoga occurs if planets are subsequently placed sign by sign. The minimum number of planets is 4 or 5, depending if the node is included. If you want to learn more about Graha Malika Yoga, then please watch the video here. So similarly to Kala Sarpa or Kalamrita, the Graha Malika Yoga can take the total power of the chart. This is like the Meta Yogas, and we have to analyze these positions first. Person can do many things, but ultimately the fruits will be controlled by these planets, especially on this periphery. So we know that if it starts with the Dushtana, like in this case, the person is more into spirituality or renunciation. Now the celibacy or no relationship, right? Before we even enter the thing about the married life, we should first see if the person has potential to be married. And although this video is not about the marriage, we can share a few tools or pointers we can analyze before going into timing of marriage. So what we can appreciate in this chart is that 7th Lord and Venus their relation is not good. As first 7 lords in 12th house, this is not the best, but still you will find many people are married with this combination. But from 7th lord Jupiter to Venus, we have 6 houses. So the 6th, 8th, 12th position from 7th lord to Venus may show that Venus is not really blessing whatever circumstance or person is represented by the 7th lord. Then we also have the Titesha, the lord of Titi is Rahu. From Rahu to 7th lord also we have 6, 8. So we see again, we don't have this synchronity of these energies. There is something apart, there is something like drifting these things which should be together away. We have very important point which is also in crux of Vedic astrology. Dara Karaka is in 12th house in the Navamsha. So moon is exalted, very nice, but also in the 12th house in the Navamsha. Now since we are on the Navamsha, 1st and 4 are very important for marriage. And here we have 4th lord, Lagna lord, is Mercury, Marana Karakastana in 7th house with Saturn. So this Mercury, Saturn, even in Rasi chart, as taught by Sanjay Rath, these positions are also not conducive to marriage. Now we have Upapada Lord, also lorded by Jupiter in the 12th house. And 7 from Sun, which is also opening the doors for relationship, is the same Jupiter in the 12th house. So it's not only 7 lord, it's also Upapada Lord and 7 from Sun. Now the doors to Rajas, to relationships, 7 from Venus is Mars, and Mars is with the Saturn debilitated in the Maraka in the 2nd house. So the doors are closed. We have 2 malefics, right? So the doors are closed to relationship, and the person may be with that combination, because Mars and Saturn is a Yama Yoga, it denotes the death. So maybe the person is helping people who are dying, communities who are dying, because we have 6th lord in the 2nd house. This is person who is punishing or helping the communities very much. This is the 9th lord loaded by Saturn, which denotes someone who is helping others, the downtrodden, the people who are dying, and the people who are in very conflict, people who are in not very good state or shape, right? And 2nd house, and especially the Cancer, will show families. So he is doing that, and yeah, for the relationship there is no place. This we have the doors are closed, Mars and Saturn. So whatever we'll see in the chart, be it lordship, karaka, aruda, navamsha, panchanga, charakaraka, we always, whenever we turn for some hope, respite, everywhere is no, denials. But this is the extreme chart for this, because this is the chart of Catholic priest. It should be like that. In fact, it's good if one is going on that path, because there is no temptation. And now you can see what is the worth of analyzing this extreme chart of very wealthy people or very renounced people, because then we are getting this also extreme yogas, and we can learn how to catch them very quickly and then use them in the normal or standardized chart reading for our friends, family and clients. Now if we switch to this last point of career life analysis, we are going through this standard 4 points, 10 from Moon, Aruda 10 in Navamsha, and Artakona in the Shamsa, which are 2nd, 6th and 10th in the Shamsa. So 10th from Moon, we have this Mercury and Sun again. Mercury being in the sign of Jupiter in the Navamsha. So remember, for 10th lord from Moon, don't forget to see the Navamsha chart. This was taught very much in that very popular video, Don't Forget About the Navamsha. So you can watch this on my channel. It's a very popular video, especially in the last 3 months, most popular video. And so this is this, it's not only speaking, because Mercury can be speaker, it could also be shop, it could be physician, it could be journalist, writer, many things. But if we add this Sagittarius in the Navamsha connected to this philosophical thing, because he has Jupiter in Navamsha Lagna, he was studying philosophy. So this is also one point to rectify Navamsha for Gemini, but nevertheless, this is this now speaking as a guidance, right? And we have the Sun in 10, so this is bringing also this now spiritual, so this is speaking, guiding, spiritual. So you can see how the yoga is changing the nature of the planet. The planet is still very generalized, it can go in many directions, but the yogas are restricting and excluding the possibilities, which is making the job for astrologer more easy, right? Because we need to exclude the possibilities to get more accurate and clear answers. Aruda is aspected by Jupiter. This is very interesting. It's not by Sun, by Jupiter. So this is more priest in that philosophical Vedanta, we could say, nature. So this is academical person. He was studying philosophy. He is asking why. He wants to understand it from this point of view. Attending Navamsha, wow, that is so straightforward. Sun in Pisces, we don't need to comment here. And in the Navamsha, we have Jupiter exalted in 5th as Lagna Lord and Venus exalted in the Lagna. So this is someone who is very much sacrificing. The 10th Lord is Jupiter exalted, Lagna Lord is Jupiter exalted. And from Rasi, the 10th Lord is also Jupiter. So if the 10th Lord from Rasi chart is in the 5th, in the Dashamsa, it means that the work will have to do with the knowledge a lot. This is the Dharma Trikona. This is all about the knowledge. So this is definitely showing the case. So if you would like me to help you analyze your chart, the Rasi Navamsha Dashamsa, which is the main chart of fortune and career life chart, with the timing, so when the planets will get activated in your chart, and also about remedies, emphasizing the good things and blocking the negative things, please hit me up in the email below and we can schedule the consultation for you. So that's gonna be it from me. Thanks for watching till the end. If you have found any value in this video, please consider hitting the like button. Let me know in the comments which points resonate with you the most. Maybe you have also some Parivartanas in the chart. Subscribe for more and see you in the next one.